Every champion has to start somewhere. At some point they were new, unproven, and looked up at those who had already paid their dues. In order to rise to the top, you must get by your elders. But there's always one gate that stands in the way. It's the toughest nut to crack. The final boss before you can claim what's rightfully yours, the gatekeeper. Door, whether it be in sports, business, the entertainment industry, or the dating scene, we all have to deal with these individuals. For all the young buckaroos watching, the gatekeeper is the toughest test there is. There's no more practice, no more warm-ups. This is the big leagues, and if you don't perform, you go home without the prize. You may think the main event is the hardest, the grand finale, the culmination of everything. And while that too is true, what you need to understand is that they earned that spot. They paid their dues, and they had to defeat the gatekeeper too. That was their final exam, their last hurdle to jump over before reaching the promised land. You're looking up at that same mountain peak, except right now, you're still in the foothills. Before you reach the champion, you must first get past the gatekeeper. Yeah, they are the eighth wonder of the world, the immovable object, the one constant that stays the same while everything else changes. You can come from nothing and make it all the way to the top, just to get stopped in your tracks by this one individual. It's almost unfair how the world works, but that's just how it is. To win the big prize, you must beat the best that's being guarded by the one who protects it. They are the embodiment of the old saying, easy to get in, hard to stay. Even the greats have trouble keeping their spot at the top because the gatekeeper is. It's always waiting in the wings, ready to take back what is theirs. Champions, contenders, and pretenders alike all come and go. The gatekeeper remains. To them, titles are just pieces of metal and belts are just accessories. Their real reward is the feeling deep down inside, the knowing that they're the ones standing between the hopefuls and their dreams. If you ever find yourself in a position where you're about to make it, then listen closely because I'm only going to say this once. The gatekeeper is the ultimate test, whether it be in sports, business, the dating scene, music, movies, or fashion. When you reach their level, you know you've made it. To get to the top, you must pass this final test. After all, why would the best be at the bottom? They are the gatekeepers.
First, let's define our terms. What exactly is a gatekeeper? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It's the person who guards the gate, so to speak. The one who ensures that only those who are worthy are allowed to pass. In other words, the one who decides whether or not you get what you want. Sounds kind of vague, doesn't it? That's because the concept of a gatekeeper is often misunderstood.
Most people think that gatekeepers are always at the top of the food chain, the ones with all the power and influence. And while this may be true in some cases, it's not always the case. A gatekeeper could be anyone who stands between you and what you want, whether they're above you, below you, or even on the same level. What matters most is their willingness to keep you out, to protect what they have. Gatekeepers come in all shapes and sizes. They can be bosses, teachers, friends, family members, or even strangers. But one thing they all have in common is their desire to hold on to what they have, whether that be power, money, status, or simply the peace of mind that comes with knowing they're in control. Now that we've established that, let's take a look at why the gatekeeper is the toughest test of all. First of all, they are the best. By definition, a gatekeeper is someone who is qualified to make decisions about what others can access. They are the ones who are in charge of the gate, so to speak, and they wouldn't be there if they weren't qualified to do the job. This means that they are likely very smart, very capable, and very experienced. They know their stuff and they aren't afraid to use it to their advantage. Secondly, they are incredibly tough. A good gatekeeper isn't someone who can easily be intimidated or persuaded. They have thick skin and they can take criticism. In fact, they thrive on it. They know that it's all part of the job, and they're not going to let it get to them. This toughness allows them to stand firm in their beliefs and values, and to resist pressure from all sides. Finally, thirdly, they are fiercely independent. Gatekeepers don't need anyone else to tell them what to do. They're self-starters who are able to take initiative and make decisions on their own. They're also very autonomous, which means that they don't rely on anyone else to complete tasks or projects. This independence allows them to stay focused on their goals and to resist distractions from outside forces. So as you can see, gatekeepers are a formidable group of individuals. They're highly qualified, incredibly tough, and fiercely independent. These qualities make them perfect gatekeepers because they ensure that only the best and brightest can get through. But while gatekeepers may be necessary to keep order and ensure quality, they can also be a source of frustration and resentment. After all, they are standing between you and what you want, and that's never an easy position to be in. Still, it's important to remember that gatekeepers are just people. They have strengths and weaknesses just like everyone else. They can be overcome with enough determination and perseverance. Just remember to respect them, study them, and be persistent, and you will eventually prevail. Gatekeepers are a part of life, but they don't have to be a barrier to success. With the right mindset and approach, you can overcome any gatekeeper and achieve your goals. So don't give up. Keep pushing forward, and eventually you will break through. We all have to start somewhere. At some point, we were all newcomers, unknowns looking up at the established stars. And in order to get where we wanted to go, we had to face the gatekeeper. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Now that we've covered why the gatekeeper is such a tough nut to crack, let's talk about how to deal with him. As we mentioned earlier, gatekeepers are often gatekeepers because they are qualified and experienced. They have earned their position, and they know their stuff. That means that in order to get past them, you have to bring your A game. No shortcuts, no tricks, just hard work and dedication. Secondly, you need to be persistent. Gatekeepers are used to dealing with a lot of people, and they are often busy. That means that you can't expect them to give you the time of day right away. You have to be willing to follow up, to keep trying even when you get rejected. Don't take no for an answer. Keep pushing forward until you get the results you want. Finally, you need to be respectful. Remember, gatekeepers are just people. They may seem like they are all-powerful and all-knowing, but they are not. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, and they deserve to be treated with respect. That means no name-calling, no whining, just professionalism and courtesy. If you follow these tips, you will eventually wear down the gatekeeper's defenses and earn their respect. And once you have that, you will be well on your way to achieving your goals. There are many gatekeepers in every field and every industry waiting to test your mettle. They are the ultimate challenge, the final boss before you can claim your prize. But if you're willing to put in the work to be persistent and to stay true to yourself, then nothing will stand in your way. You will become the new gatekeeper, and the cycle will continue.